with, but I never got to see any sort of confusion. I never got to see any sort of fear. I never saw that. Was it probably happening behind closed doors with my dad or anybody else? I'm sure it was. I mean, it happens to every single business owner, right? But the key was not to stay there. The key was to maybe address a problem that was coming to you and spend 10 minutes on it and then spend the other 90 minutes on the solution, right? So the key was always to keep going and moving forward. And so, like I said, that was installed very early on. I also, and you and I have talked about this on on the personal side, I've also felt that there is a, a divine, the divine has installed something personally in me where I've always had a very fighting type of personality. I've always
I love that of you, my sister. I love that. If I will go, I always say, if I would go to war, you will be one of the people that I will go to war with. Because,
ready.
we will be ready for
Absolutely.
peace, ready for war, So
absolutely.
Yeah, keep sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what we always do this, right? We can never have enough time to talk. We always love discussing and being present with each other. But that's absolutely right. I mean, you never, once you start, having the feelings of fear, or you start doubting yourself, it's the end at that beginning, right? It starts becoming a really, really dark path. And so for me, like I said, I've always felt that has been installed, and somehow, and I've never really sat down and thought, okay, where exactly did this come from? I can attest from just growing up as a little girl, seeing that in my family. And from that point forward, it's always been a mentality of going for it. And I really do believe that, what we believe, how we function, and what we, how we decide to walk is what's going to create our future. Right. So you and I shared the love for Joe Dispenza. I love that you introduced what you're starting again with the futuring. And so that's the power. Right. And so yes. For me, it's always been, like I said, a fighting type of personality and character, never giving up. Because when you understand that life, and now as I get older, I mean, things have happened where, yes. you kind of, you stumble and you're like, wait a minute, this is heavier than what I was expecting or that I would ever imagine. But when we understand that life happens for us
exactly.
and not to us, it's when there is a shift. And so when I talk to friends now and we discuss this, and I said, when you understand that, when you really understand that and grasp that, then there's a shift that begins to happen. And when that shift happens, you will experience life differently. Boom. There will be joy and peace in adversity. You could, and you would ask yourself, well, how could that be? Well, because you have the assurance that with each bad result or failed plan or loss, you're only getting closer to the victory and to the gain and to the stronger depth of your purpose. So that is what happens when your mind shifts in that direction. And when and so now at that point, anything that comes to you that anyone else would see as a failure, or now, no, why am I even trying? This is never going to work. You don't see it that way. You on the other hand say, okay, this is happening. How is it going to work for my benefit? What am I going to learn from this? How is this going to help me get closer there? Is this making me stronger? And so you start analyzing that. And so when you analyze those things, and now you start coming up with solutions on how maybe not to repeat it, or maybe how to avoid it in the future, then your future self is definitely not going to do that. And you're just now getting stronger and stronger. So, life never necessarily gets easier. You just get stronger. And so more experience and wiser. So, but the shift really starts with that. The shift really starts with that, with seeing life as happening to you, for you and not to you.
Yes. And, and there's a level that, I have many guests in the show that have that mindset, this mindset of fighters, this mindset of get things done, right? And it's when life happens for you and through you. Right? Not through you. And I love that. And you are a perfect example. So my sister, wow, I have so many notes. I think just what you already shared. I hope people are taking notes. I hope women are taking notes, because what you just the last part, I have so many golden nuggets, but the part that where you said that you will be able to find the joy in adversity and get stronger through it,
Right.
instead of becoming a victim, we become victors of our future. So sister, talk to me about Semilla, because I am so excited about this movement. What is it? How was it born? How did Nayeli decided? How did you hear this God sent message to create this movement called Semilla? What is it? Where does it come from? And where is it going?
Yes. Well, I'll start with this. I've always, you know a little bit of my history. And so I grew up in a church,
Exactly.
in a Christian church. And so it was always about serving. At 18 years old, I wanted to go to Colombia and be a missionary. So it was always about service. And so I truly believe that we are all created to serve. We've all been created to serve. And it isn't until you tap into that part of service that that becomes a whole awakening for your soul. And now the desire to serve never leaves you, and the desire to make a difference in people's lives never leave you. And so, but it's tapping into that. It's actually getting to that. That's the problem for a lot of people. They don't actually get to do that. And so, when I've always been in the area and in the realm of serving others, and I've always had a special place in my heart for guiding youth and guiding children, and just really molding that, right? Because when they're growing up and when they're little kids is really what's going to, again, hardwire their system and really mold them to the character and personality they will be holding as adults. And so I've always had that. But I'll tell you exactly where Semilla really was born. I am a part of an organization called Prosperity Homes. And I love my dear brother, founder Jeremiah Forrest. He has been doing an amazing job with Prosperity Homes. It has continued to grow. And what Prosperity Homes does is that it builds homes for the people that are literally living under tarps in Ensenada. And so we go, and in 3 days we build a home for them, and they are no longer sleeping on dirt floors. So that organization is a beautiful, beautiful organization. And from that came the desire to, and the need to really help the children of these homes, because what we're doing is building homes, but we take it a step further and we say, well, what we don't want is to be building a home for the kids that are living here in 5 or 6 or 7 years, because they're going to remain in this place. How do we come in and now break that cycle? And how do we change their lives, but not just monetarily? How do we change that mindset? How do we change that heart? How do we tap into that? And so Semilla came from there, was born there, and has now since then, and that idea has grown to so much more, right? Because when you think of Semilla, which is where the name comes from, is planting a seed, right? And so Semilla is the word Spanish for seed. And so we're planting a seed, but when I say it's evolved to more than that, it is now the goal to reach everyone that we can. We're in a society, and like you and I agree with this, we're in a very, very tough society at this point. There is so much perdition. There is so much evil. There is so much opposition for our youth at this point, and everyone really, right? From the 3-year-old that gets his hands on his mom's and dad's cell phone, to the 45-year-old male or female that just is obsessed with social media and now is going down that rabbit hole of things that they shouldn't be looking at.
So true.
Right.
So true.
Right. So we're in such an opposition type of environment with evil that really now Semilla is reaching the souls and, making everyone aware that every single thing that we do on a daily basis is a seed that we are planting for our future. Every single action that we make, every single word that we say, every single thought that we have, everything is planting a seed for our future, for whether it's the future of that day, that week, that month, that year, our lifetime. And so Semilla is going to be, is already doing it, but is going to be helping the children with education. But again, we're going to have the goal is to have a a center where the kids can come in and have it as a sanctuary, as a place of refuge to work now also on their mind, their heart, their spirit. And with that, Semilla will be carrying on to other realms and reaching other young kids, adults, everyone that we can, so that we can bring a positive outlook on the things that we're facing right now.
I love this, sister. And Semilla, the seed, is such a powerful metaphor. I love that in the Bible, one of the most powerful scriptures and the power of words is that there's nothing stronger than a seed, like the mustard seed, the kingdom of heaven is a seed. So I love this movement. I love where it's coming from. I love where it's going. And I love the blooming that in the future Semilla is going to give. So my sister, if someone wants to participate, if someone wants to support once you launch the movement, where can people find more about you? Where can people reach out? I'm sure, eventually you were speaking about doing an event. I myself want to participate in Semilla, and I know Prosperity Homes, the owner of Prosperity Homes. I had the privilege to meet him once at a public speech that I give. And what incredible group of people you all are of doing what is good in humanity. So where can people find you? Where can people find out more about Semilla?
Well, we are currently developing and finishing the touches on the website, so people can come into the website and take a look at all the information and all the pictures of the kids that we are helping. We do have a social media platform, which is Planting Semillas, and on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay,
we will be having Planting Semillas, correct. We will be having our first fundraiser event in October. And so the date, I don't have exactly, I believe it's the last week of October, but that is coming very, very shortly, in less than 2 months. I know you will be there. And so the social media platforms would be probably the best place to go there and just kind of get some information, get our contact numbers, and reach out to us and anything that they want to get involved. At this point, Semilla is, the stomping grounds will be Ensenada for some of the kids that will be sponsoring on these areas. And so, we hope to be able to have not only sponsors, but people that also want to come out there with us and visit the children and make a difference in their lives.
Amen. What a beautiful, wow. What a pact, sometimes I've done longer podcasts, but your podcast, your delivery right now, what you just gave us, you gave us incredible wisdom nuggets, incredible seeds of knowledge. Plus you introduced us to Semilla, and plus you are an incredible business woman and mother. Where can people find you, Nayeli, if they want financial services for their corporation, to plan their future? I really believe that financiers like you that are experts in finances really are experts in the future. And you bring so much ease into the future of people. So where can people find you, love?
They can definitely find me on my website, Nayeli Ballesteros, www.nayeliballesteros.com.
Perfect. And we'll make sure to add all of the links.
Yes. My social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Those are the platforms. And it's on Instagram, it's Mrs. Nayeli Ballesteros, Facebook, Nayeli Ballesteros. So all of these platforms and social media are the ones that you can reach me at.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, my sister, this was packed with wisdom. This was packed with knowledge, and I think with a lot of empowerment for people that do not, are giving up right now with the challenges of the world. It is really time to have more faith and to remember that your thoughts, your words, your actions are all semillas, seeds of greatness. If you work on it, greatness that can in the future now bloom. Thank you, my beloved sister Nayeli. It was a pleasure having you here. We'll have you back once Semilla launches so we can tell people all about the good news. And I will see you all, my beautiful friends. And those of you who listen to the podcast, remember to like, comment, share. Remember, this is a free podcast. We don't sell anything. We just ask you to, if it serves you, which it will, because all the wisdom of these incredible people, I get to learn a lot and pass it on to you all. But thanks to them, from them doing the work, you get to receive some of their blessings too. So pass it on, implement, let us know how it served you. and we will see you the next time. Un beso. Adios.
Hasta luego. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Spirituality Now podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and share us with a friend. To learn more about how to live more present in the moment